There we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And it's not me, it's YouTube with this foolishness. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. If you want to see the intro, then that's the short little video that we just did when I was pulling the cards and stuff, and just a brief introduction. This way we don't need a timestamp. Good, even better. But as I was saying, as I was laying out the cards, y'all, it don't look good. I will say that, at least at the very beginning of the week, it doesn't really look good from the first to the seventh, but I'm not a fear mongerer. I'm not a fear monger in any way, shape, or form. And I do see that I will show you this much that, at the bottom of the deck, so pretty much the overarching energy of everything is that you are more than a conqueror. I want you to remember that. You are more than a conqueror. Be not afraid of anything. You do not come from a spirit of fear. You were given a spirit of power. And if you believe in God, if you are a Christian, or if you have a higher power, please know that through its strength, you can do all things. But there is an argument or a rough conversation. It's already in a challenging card position. So this is probably something that you already just are fed up with talking about. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to have to even address it. It's like, ugh. It's a very challenging energy, but it's also something that will help you grow. So whatever it is that you're not exactly wanting to face, I will feel like you will need to face it here. If you have a certain way of communicating that may be abrasive, I think you'll be given a chance to grow from it. But the way that you are given a chance to grow from it may not be something that you like. Because I just really feel like next week, the 1st through the 7th of September, and this is it's Virgo season first and foremost. And if I'm not mistaken, we'll have a new moon in this time. Uh, be coming off a new moon or going to a new moon. I'm not sure because I haven't been checking the way I should be checking or the way I usually am up on my astrology. But it's just feeling like it's getting to the nitty gritty, and I don't feel like you're gonna like the way that you have to get to the nitty gritty. But there's some issue, some type of communication, some communication between you and another party, or some way that you communicate that may be abrasive, or that is just unnecessary, uncalled for, or that's problematic. And I feel that you will be met with some type of challenge that's going to cause you to grow, but you're not going to like it. They call it growing pains for a reason. And in some way that you're being called to change the way that you communicate, you're not going to like it. I'm just telling you this right here. I'm seeing it from the 1st to the 7th. You're just not going to like it. Did I really just skip this whole week and just go straight from the 1st to the 7th? Yes, I did. So we don't have a reading for this week. I may go back and record another one, but this one is for the 1st to the 7th. Just not liking it. Just not liking it, having to address it, having to keep talking about it. If you're not the person who is abrasive, you're the person who is just sick and tired of having to deal with this type of conversation or having to talk about this topic. And I'm going over and over because I'm just really feeling like, like the way you will get tired of me repeating myself is the way you will be getting tired of having to deal with this issue, this subject, this form of communication, this messaging. Somebody could be harassing you in the form of like messaging, but it's actually causing you to grow. It's just some situation about just a challenging way of communication, but it's causing you to grow. Now, money could be a little tight. Money could be a little funny, or you could perceive money to be a little tight or be a little funny at this time. So from the 1st to the 7th, maybe just kind of watch your spending a little bit, or what you want to actually spend money on is not there for you to buy. In some way, there's a lack or there's a perceived lack. But please know that if something that you want is not there for you to buy, then it is not meant for you at that time. We have to start learning to trust God or sources, timing, whatever it is that you choose to believe in. I am impartial to all of that. I have my beliefs that are very strong and they're reawakening at that, but I can't judge anybody's beliefs. I'm just saying whatever it is that you believe in, just kind of cling to that and lean on that, and watch your spending. just watch your spending. I said all that to just say watch your spending, and also know trust that timing is in your favor. Even when it don't feel like it, all things are working for your good. All things are working for your good. Please understand that. So with these challenging situations, in this form of communication, I actually feel like it could be a lawsuit. It could be either you giving the lawsuit or the lawsuit being served to you. It could be that type of situation where there is some issues that kind of need to be dealt with. I'm feeling in all of this for, because in the beginning it doesn't look that good, but I do see the sign of victory here and also Two of Cups here. Um, yeah, and then you have this King of Swords here, which could signify a judge, but I do feel like it would be kind of ruling in your favor. So I will say that I feel like if this is a lawsuit, it's like being ruled in your favor. You're kind of just mad at the fact that you even have to go through this for some people. And this could be like a divorce proceeding, it can be child support enforcement, it could be you having to go back and forth with the people, in the government, some government documentation being lost, or paperwork being just kind of, lost in the system. Whatever it is, you're just tired of that communication. So for those who are dealing with something other than just, your communication is abrasive, this is more like a general life reading. So in a practical life type of way, it could manifest as in you having issues with paperwork in big government entities. You get what I'm saying? Or you having to sit before a judge and recount a story and arguing back and forth with this person who know they did you wrong, and you're just waiting for somebody like the judge or an outside authority or higher power to see it your way, to give you your justice. But it's an inconvenience that you even have to get there. The inconvenience, you may have been defrauded of something. You could have had something taken from you. You could have been overcharged. It can manifest in a lot of ways. So just watch out from the first to the seventh over your finances, because I do feel a sense of lack or perceived lack. A lot of times you're not really missing out on anything. It just could be simply the fact that you think that you should be in a certain place and you're not there yet. So you come down harder on yourself. So you manifest harshness onto yourself because you are embodying that energy of not feeling like enough, or of not feeling like you have things to appreciate. If you are vibrating or emitting that energy of not being appreciative, you'll keep having instances where you have something that you don't appreciate happening to you. So just kind of watch your energy there towards your money, towards your resources, towards your home, towards your car, all of that. And know that if it's not there for you at that time, it's not for you at that time. Now, you are focused on equality. So, what you're trying to do is speak in a way that gives equality. You're trying to be fair. Just kind of like how I just went on that little spiel about being impartial. There's an energy here, like a Libran type energy of, okay, I'm trying to weigh both sides of the thing. And that could also be the lawsuit or the hearing or some type of court hearing happening here, is like I'm trying to weigh both sides of the issue, a higher authority trying to weigh both sides of the issue to figure out who has really been wronged and who is the person who wronged the other party. It could also be like you are just in the midst of madness and you are just kind of like the neutral party who just wants things to be settled. And that could cause you to have that abrasive communication that you don't want to have. That could be it. Or you could be the abrasive party communicating, and it's like it's not really helping the matter. So I think you are being challenged to grow. You're being challenged to stop yourself from being that usual pop offish type person, because definitely coming off of the week prior, because I have skipped a week here, the coming off the week prior where you were tempted to pop off, and I feel that some people really did pop off, even though it was kind of advised not to, because I was one of those. Look, I'm a person too. I am not above anybody. I popped off too. But for those who did, it may be like you may be kind of seeing the consequences of that, and it kind of set you back a little bit. So now it's a little bit harder to plead your case to this judge or to this higher authority. So it's like a communication that you keep having to go back to. And you realize that if you kind of just would have just chilled out, then it probably wouldn't be here. So you're just trying to weigh both sides. Everything you do, every way that you communicate, everything you do is just very much so calculated from the first to the seventh, especially now that we're in Virgo season. Everything is going to be calculated. So people who are calculated usually are even more just, oh, everything has to be completely perfect, almost to like an obsessive compulsive degree. So just make sure that that's where that perceived lack is coming from. Ain't really nothing wrong. It ain't really nothing wrong. You ain't really missing nothing. Ain't nothing really is nothing really evading you, and you're not missing out on anything. It's that kind of over compulsiveness. It's like, I want it, I want it, I want it. It has to be perfect. You're not missing out on anything. Just trusting the timing and chill out. Just chill out a little bit. The message is getting clearer as I go along, because again, I do feel this sense of, having total control, and also like a higher authority or a higher power, being the bigger person, having some justice happen, or having things go your way or in your favor in whatever issues you have to keep addressing. Now, um, breakdown or breakthrough. Those who know the cards know that that's that tower card. And in this card position is like, it needed to happen, or this needs to happen. So whatever is going on, whatever setback you had, whatever blow up you had when you realized that you should have just kind of kept calm, I'm saying that you should have kept calm, but like I say, everything happens for a reason. All things are working for your good. Not some things, not a few things, not a lot of things. All is working for your good. So that breakdown, sometimes it has to happen. That blow up, sometimes it has to happen for other people to see that you are fed up. You can't be the bigger person all the time. Sometimes it's gonna have to be another party that is the bigger person for you. In comes that judge, in comes that committee, in comes that, listening, that arbitrator, that mediator. Here in comes all of that, because sometimes you're not going to be the one who can weigh both sides and still stay calm. Sometimes it's going to take another party to do that. For a few of you who are on a much higher vibration than I am, obviously, you will be able to, just kind of weigh things out and not go crazy on people and not snap. For the bulk of us who live in this earth, we are going to need, maybe a higher party to kind of disseminate things, or kind of just, just kind of render a fair and unbiased objective verdict, because that's really what I'm feeling here. Somebody needs to weigh an unbiased objective verdict on a situation that has been going on and on and on and on, and it's on your nerves and you're tired of it, and it's like, I'm just sick of having to deal with this. I'm having to recant my story. I done snapped, and I shouldn't have like blew up like that, but it's kind of good that I blew up like that, because I went ahead and got it out of my system, and I had to reap some of the consequences of getting it out of my system. But you know what? I'll live. All of that is in these cards here. Is like, and you see how I'm just kind of rambling, which is something that you know, I do a lot, and I already talk fast, but it's extra today. It's extra today because it's like, that's how you feeling about it from the first to the seventh. Have done this, I've been there, I've done that. I've had to deal with this thing for long enough. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of having to recant my story. I'm tired of having to recount, I should say, not recant, recount, the events of what happened. We tried to settle it, fair and square, or I tried to settle it fair and square in a balanced way. It don't seem like this person is reasonable. It doesn't seem like this company is reasonable. It doesn't seem like this partner of mine is reasonable. Whatever the case, this boss is reasonable. So I need a higher power. I need the person over their head and over that person's head. I need the judge to come in and talk. I need the hiring committee or the head of HR to come and look at this. That type of way that all of this energy can manifest in your general life. But like I said, I do see a victory. Whatever you were doing and however you did it, I still see a victory. It's not a convenient victory. It's not an easy victory. This is kind of been snowballing for a few weeks now. And I actually skipped this actual week of tarot. So by September 1st through the 7th, I'm feeling like some type of victory or some type of progress. But it has been hard won. Don't think that you're gonna be like, oh, that was easy. It was like taking candy from a baby. No. This victory is something that it took you some time. This took you some time. So just be appreciative of it. But I do feel like a victory. I do feel like your side of things, maybe your argument or your testimony or your recounting of the story is more truthful, or it's more concise and it's less dramatic than the other parties. Maybe the other person comes in there doing all of this, or they come in there falsifying details and stuff, or bringing in crappy evidence or no evidence to support their claims, or this person has no evidence to support their claims. And then you, on the other hand, you come in with the receipts, the doggone price check scan, you come in with the quotes, you come in with the affidavits, you come in with all of that. So it's like, well, naturally, You look like the party who was upstanding and who was upright, who's telling the truth. So that's an energy here from September 1st to the 7th in terms of the outcome of all of this. And a part of you being able to have that all the receipts and the facts and the affidavits and the testimonies and everything, the reason why you are more credible, I feel, is because that kind of Virgo energy of just being OCD about everything, just making sure everything is thorough. It could go back to that fear of having like, oh, I may not get this, I may not win this case, I may not have the support of, the hearing committee, I may not have, the judge may not be on my side, so let me stack my evidence so that I'll know that, things happen in my favor. And it may have been hard on you, you may have been tired of having to talk about the issue, you may have been harassed for long enough and you just really want it to be over, but you're going to take that final push to have it be like, you know what, if I got to go, jump through hoops to get the evidence that I need to show that I have been the fair and balanced party in all of this, then I'll do it. So that's why I say that victory of yours is hard won, because people believe you, but it took you going to hell and back for people to believe you, for people to believe that, what you were saying is true. You're gonna have to do a lot of recounting of details and a lot of going back over stuff. But once again, as you are reflecting on what you've been through, I think you are in the mentality from the 1st of the 7th of being able to appreciate it. Because remember that in the tarot, the Hermit card is associated with Virgo. And the Hermit is about looking within and really exploring what it is that you're doing. Not just doing it out of habit or doing it out of obligation, but actually kind of enjoying or really kind of sifting through what it is that you're doing and understanding it. So as you're recounting these details and you are stacking your evidence, it's like, dang, I really went through some stuff, or oh, I reacted kind of crazy. I wouldn't react the same way now because you've dealt with the consequences now. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, overall, I just really feel like things will come out your way. Moving forward from this whole issue, um, somebody's gonna side with you. There is some energy here of a partnership that is beneficial, or of somebody supporting you, or of somebody being on your side, somebody really advocating for you. So that's good, because I feel like you're gonna need it from the 1st to the 7th. It may not actually be about this same, problem. It could be more so in terms of like, it could be about a love relationship, or it could be about family or a friendship or something. But I feel like a connection is established here. I do feel like a connection is established here. And in the case of you against somebody, where you have an enemy or you have an adversary or antagonist or a defendant to your plaintiff, whatever the case may be, you do have support. You do have support in your corner, and it is beneficial for you. So it's not just somebody being a yes man telling you, well, yeah, I agree with you, or yeah, I see what you mean, just absent-mindedly. This is a person who like wholeheartedly believes in your cause, and they know that you're a good balanced person, and that you've been kind of put just in hard circumstances, or that you've just kind of been through some stuff, things that will probably break down a lot of people, but you've kind of held your head about yourself. And even when you did finally snap, at the beginning, it kind of looked like, oh, that's not a good look on that person. But I mean, overall, they looking like they kind of understand, be like, well, shoot, you've been going through some stuff for a while. Anybody is liable to snap after you done went through what you done been through. So if you were one of the ones who kind of went off last week, don't worry. You weren't the only one. And what happened, even though I said that in the moment, when it happens, you feel like, or immediately after, it's like, oh my God, I done lost an opportunity, or I done painted myself in a bad picture. Don't worry too much, because I do feel like you still have that support on your side. What has been given to you is about to change. And what I mean by that is not like, well, in some cases it will be literal. What has been given to you about to change. If you're going up before a review board for a promotion, what has been given to you is about to change. Meaning, if you felt like you were making more and you've been just kind of busting your ass for this company and they ain't paying you what you wanted, and you have been trying your best to convince somebody that you deserve more than what you've been getting, and you finally get before this review board or before this person or this CEO or CFO or head of HR or whatever, and have this hearing or this review, what has been given to you is about to change. So if you were feeling slighted, that's that perceived lack. If you were being slighted with your pay, and you go before this board and this higher authority rules that, yeah, you have been breaking your back. Yeah, you have gotten to the point where you got to be kind of rude with your superiors because they are treating you like you're not worth what you're worth, when you know you are worth what you're worth, and they hear you. That's what I mean by you went through this and you may have kind of snapped, or you got a little abrasive with your communication because of some perceived lack. But then in comes this supportive party who is actually a higher party and higher authority, and they can help you because they understand why it is that you had that blow up or that breakdown. So the change that's happening here is that even through the darkness of what may have happened, even though you may have been like, oh snap, I done messed up my chance, you didn't. You didn't mess up your chance. And that perceived lack was the last reading that we were talking about, like the week before the last week of August, when I was saying that you can blow up and you can mess something up and lose an opportunity. That's perceived lack. It's not actually real. That's the fear of, oh, I've done something that caused me to lose something. You can't lose nothing that is truly yours. Your blessing is your blessing. And I feel like what you have been receiving is going to change. And it's going to change as a result of you maybe doing something that is not as balanced or as pretty or as prim and proper as you may have liked it to be. If you are usually a very, upstanding, graceful person, and you had to really get in somebody's ass, you may feel like, oh man, I messed up. But people understand real, raw emotions. Please understand that it's okay to want to be, seen in a good light, but don't make that what you base your life off of. Because people like realness. Above all else, people are drawn to realness. Humans are drawn to the human condition. We understand humans because we are humans. People will understand you no matter how high their position is. Every judge has a family. Every CEO has had their own experiences. Every boss, every hearing committee has people on it who have had their own experiences. People are people. So don't think that something that you can do can take away everything that you wanted, or to take away the outcome that you wanted, because what's for you is for you. And nothing you can do can take away what is for you. But yeah, back to something, the way that you've been given or what you've been given is about to change. I do feel like it'll change in a good way, because right beside it is like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So you may be given more responsibility, but you'll also be paid more. Or you may have to go through a lot to file this lawsuit and make it happen, but you're about to get back more than what you gave out. Or you may have I'm trying to think of every possible way this could all manifest. It just what you were given is about to change, and it's about to undergo deep change as a result of you showing maybe a darker side of you, or doing things in a more darker type of way than what you would usually do, as a result of you getting more aggressive, more abrasive, more assertive. Things are about to change, and what you've been given before is about to change. People may not give you as much shit as they used to give you. They may not give you as much slack as they used to give you. But along with that comes the fact that you are going to be required to do maybe a little bit more now, or a lot of bit more. You'll be required to do a lot of bit more. So it's going to be a balancing act. What is getting ready to happen for you will be a newness. You may have just a little bit of a challenge around figuring out how you want to use this new responsibility, or how you want to move into this new job position, or when you want to move into this new office, or whatever has been given to you that's different. It may be a little challenging just trying to adjust to the newness of it. I'll say that much. And also, I'll also say this: for some people, when you do get the outcome in your favor, I don't mean to say that you are ungrateful, but it's almost like you like, dang, I did all of that. And even though they sided with me, and even though I got my reward, you almost feel like, oh, I shouldn't even have to do all of that. I urge you to not think like that, because I know, especially with it being Virgo season and having that new moon and Virgo energy, is like, I know a lot of Virgos who will, everything will go perfect and they'll be like, oh my God, about time. I'm like, will you just shut up and enjoy what's happening? So I don't want you to lose your victory. I don't want you to lose your victory in the fact that you are thinking about how much it took for you to win it. Yeah, it was hard won, but it happened and now it's yours. So just like it, just love it, just deal with it, adjust to it. I think one of the reasons why with this next card here, I think one of the reasons why you may feel like finally, or you may feel like you may have some kind of issue or some type of dissatisfaction around what it is that you are being given now, around what reward or what victory or what that victory entails. I do feel that there's some kind of there's still some reservation around it. Like, yeah, I got the victory, but it's not exactly what I wanted. And I feel like that because there's maybe a waiting period, or you've had to wait so long for the victory that you almost feel like it does not justify the journey that you went through. But I want you to think about things from a different perspective. It's not always about the monetary compensation. It's not always about you securing more resources or another house or another car or another credit card or whatever it is that you're trying to go after or securing, like not just like getting more, like acquiring, but also securing. And I think I said that it's not always about acquiring or securing. A lot of times the value or the real gold comes from the virtues that you learned on the journey. There's another nod at that hermit card, although it's not in here. It's still the Virgo card, and it is Virgo season. The first week of this September, and I feel like real Virgos are born in September. And that's not saying nothing against August Virgos, but I feel like the real Virgo people are born in September. So on top of that, and coming off that new moon energy, the new moon and Virgo energy. So yeah, just kind of look at things a little different. Look at things a little different, kind of appreciate the journey and expect more rewards from the journey itself, or from the lessons that you learned, even the processes. If you learned how to navigate, the bureaucracy, or get past that red tape on your journey to beat something, then enjoy the fact that, or find value in the fact that now you know how to go up against what seems like giants, even though you're the little person. You know how to go and fight big battles. Take value and take pride in that, as opposed to feeling like, oh, it took me so long to get this victory and like I went through so much. Just don't have a victim mentality. Just please don't have a victim mentality. Just get through it, grow from it, because what you get from that, you'll be able to help other people. You'll become an authority to others who need to do the same thing, because trust me, you're not the only person who's being targeted unfairly, or who's being bullied or harassed by someone who just kind of has their position already set up, and they feel like they can just treat you any old way. Because I feel like that's how you have been treated up to this point. And even when you get your victory, you kind of still feel a sour type of way against the other party. I don't want you to focus on that, okay? Don't focus on that. Find value in the fact that you are now an authority, that other people can come to you if they need something, they need a certain paper filed, or if they need to find a certain contact in a certain department that's kind of like damn near hidden. It's like no number is listed, no contact information listed for this, for a solution. For people who cannot find the solution for themselves, is like you are helping them to heal that, or you are giving them a solution to that. Born on August 25th on the cusp, where do I stand on the chart? You're gonna have to find your own chart, Donna. I don't know, honey. I'm into astrology, but I'm not an astrologer. But yeah, you'll become like an authority in that way. You get what I'm saying? So find value in that, because you'll be able to give to others. And that's very important. Just always being able to give to others. The more you give to others, the more you get back. And you never know. Because even with this card following that, the one I just talked about, it becomes almost leverage for you. The fact that you know this thing. So It may have seemed like a small victory for you at the time because it is not big enough, or the monetary compensation wasn't what you thought was enough. But what you learned about how to go about getting the victory, the strategy, boom, the strategy is where the victory comes in. The strategy is what opens up a whole new world for you, because you can use that as leverage. Once you've learned how to conquer a beast, once you learn how to make that same slingshot that David used to pop Goliath, that is your value. And that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. That's a skill. That's something that you learned by having to go through it. Nobody can take that from you. People can take your car, they can take your money, they can take your house. They can't take that skill from you. Being able to lose, or to lose everything in some cases, and being able to get things back, that's a skill. That's something nobody can ever take from you. And that makes it where somebody can pick you up and drop you off at any place in the world, and you can survive with that skill. That's where the magic happens. So if you're looking for, some big prize or some big victory, I don't feel like from the first to the seventh you're going to get that. It may seem mediocre to you, and you may not even be satisfied with it at first. But what's going to happen is that you've learned a skill. You've learned a strategy. You've learned a way to fight the beast. You've learned how the little man can prevail against these big giants out here, the big bullies, the harassers. You've learned that skill, and in that skill, that's where your magic is. That's where your value is, and that's what makes the magic for you. Is what I meant to say. People who read tarot cards will pretty much know what cards I'm talking about by what I'm saying, the verbiage that I'm using. But yeah, overall, I do see strategy. I see authority. I see higher powers here, whether that be spiritual or or literal, like a judge or a hearing committee, or like a head of a department or something. And I see change. What you have been given is not what you will get now. So what you've been having to deal with will not be what you have to deal with going forward. And it took a lot for you to get to this place of being able to change this and have relief from what you were dealing with in the past, so much so that you were even tired of having to keep talking about it at one point. It was almost an energy of like, I kind of want to give up because I just don't want to keep talking about it. But something kept persevering in you, and you kept growing along the way. So I urge you to not feel bad about what you had to go through, but to love how it has grown you, or how it has changed you. Okay? So that is your reading from September 1st to the 7th. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching. I know it's kind of long. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm shaving these videos down, but yeah, I enjoyed this reading. Very insightful, very, very, very. And I, if I don't have nothing else to do, I'll go ahead and kind of recap for the video for this actual week that I just skipped, absent-mindedly. But thank you for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.